Well, the official ratings are in for Doctor Who, including iPlayer. And this is interesting because originally, obviously you had the overnight figures, which were something like 2.6, 2.4 for the first two episodes, and around 2 million for the third episode, Boom. So they were considered quite low, some of the lowest for Doctor Who's run. According to BARB, 401 million tuned in for Space Babies, 3.91 million for Devil's Cord. That is for the first two episodes of the show. So they lost around 100,000, it says on here, between the two episodes. Now, I'm sure the BBC, and these include those who watch from iPlayer, these are considered consolidated across a 7-day viewing period, with pre-broadcast viewing and viewing on tablets, PCs, and smartphones included. So they've thrown in everything here, which makes it up to around 4 million for Space Babies and 3.91 million for the Devil's Cord. So there was a drop of 100 million over the sorry 100,000 over the over those first two episodes. We're going to wait and see obviously what Boom turns out to be. Boom for me was the best of the three, written by Steve Moffat, of course. Had its own agenda, but it wasn't anything that was overt. It was obviously, it was bashing Christianity, which a lot of people have been very unhappy about, and that's, for me, that was the only thing, that it did bash Christianity a huge amount. And when you're talking about um, showing, the major contributor, the major consumer of this content is going to be people in the UK who are predominantly Christian. I'm not saying that it's a dominant thing over here, but it is a predominantly Christian country, and so I'm not entirely sure how that sits. But anyway, those are the figures coming up at the moment for those first two episodes. And I mean, what in essence what that is around another 1 point something million for Space Babies, and about the same again for the Devil's Cord. So it's not a huge number um, who watched on the iPlayer. I mean, 4.1 million and 3.91 is it's decent figures across the whole board over 7 days. But we'll have to wait and see what Boom says, what Boom comes in at. If it comes in at lower than 3.91 million, then it obviously sees you're seeing a downturn in those tuning in. So yeah, and it'd be interesting to see how the figures go across from episode to episode across the board, to see if they are, if they steady off, or whether if they drop even further. I'm assuming there might be a slight uptick for Boom, although the overnight figures were down to 2 million. I'm not sure whether there might be a slight uptick on the iPlayer because it is a Stephen Moffat episode. But even so, I think what this shows is that Doctor Who is, it's still being watched by a fair number of people, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it's the big success that the BBC and Russell T Davies are making it out to be. But let me know down in the comment section what you think. Do you think that these ratings are good for the Doctor Who series, or do you think that actually this is really pretty bad, and they should be looking at what to do to put it right if they can? I mean, is this series dead in the water now? Is it got to the point where they can no longer sustain certainly the amount of money that's being put into the show for these type of ratings? Let me know down in the comment section what you think.